Hello guys, the name is Ophelia. Welcome back to my channel. I give advices on self-acceptance and mental health, and today I want to talk about how balance is peace. I have said in a lot of my videos that balance is true happiness, but I have started to realize recently that statement is really contradicting. Balance in yourself is more about being at peace with the current version of you. It's more about being at peace with every single emotion of you, with exactly who you are. Okay, it's not just you have to be happy 24/7. You really don't. It's the opposite. If you're constantly trying to be like, yeah, this will make me happy, yeah, this will make me happy, it simply does not work like that. And you have to accept it. Be present in the moment. Just be present in the moment. More than half your problems are mind made. This is what I realized when I read this book called The Power of Now. It's really good. It has almost changed my perspective on a lot of things. I highly recommend you read that. All right. So just be present in the moment and really feel yourself inside. All right. Feel yourself inside. Just see how many times you zone out in the day. Catch yourself at that very moment and then be present. Focus on being present. Narrate the scenery to yourself. What do you see around you? I see a bag, I see my slippers, I see a cushion, etc. Things like these. What color is it? If you really struggle with a lot of thoughts, no matter what kind of thoughts they are, okay, they don't just have to be negative thoughts, they can be any kind of thoughts. Point is, you're not in the moment, you're not living in the moment. And what we often do is, if we have a lot of these thoughts and if we keep zoning out, and then it really gets to a point where it starts affecting your mental health, we engage in coping mechanisms. Okay, these coping mechanisms can be projecting your emotions onto others unconsciously. These coping mechanisms can also, they can come out in different forms, okay, in creative pieces of art, in a lot of ways. I will not go into details into that. My coping mechanism was intellectualization. So what I basically did was I could not stop my thoughts, okay. They would constantly keep coming, and it just came to a point where I just was so tired of all that negativity in my head. And I was like, you know what, if I can't stop my thoughts, can I at least convert them from negative to positive? So when I started doing that, it really helped me. And not only did I start converting them into positive thoughts, I really started to analyze my thoughts. My journaling helped me with that. A lot of things helped me with that. So whenever I would apply that logic, it would come from understanding my own emotions. That is where my logic came from, and I started applying that logic in every other field. And while explaining away my emotions as well, this is what I would do. I would try to explain them in a more intellectualized sort of way. But the thing was, it was good up to a certain point, until the time I started using it to run away from my emotions. See, the only time you can actually start intellectualizing them, or at least when you should start intellectualizing them, is when you have actually accepted them, okay? And then you're just seeing an overview of the thing, and then just seeing, yeah, now it all has all started to make sense. It's like when you're stuck in the situation, you don't understand any of it, but it's when you come out of it, you understand, okay, this is why this happened. But what I would do was, I would try to understand my thoughts in the very moment. I would try to analyze myself, not feel myself, okay? And at the same time, because I could be clear while explaining my thoughts to others, I felt as if I was actually feeling or living with them, but I was simply not. I was using it as a way to run from them. I was using it as a way. I started thinking in terms of, what? I've felt this before, so I know what to do, and I might as well just jump to that solution. I started seeing things as solutions, okay? If I'm sad, I should do this. If I'm anxious, I should meditate. If I'm overthinking, I should journal. I started seeing things in this sort of, ways to get rid of them. But you really need to stop that. These are ways to feel your emotions more. These are not ways to get rid of your emotions. But because I'm engaged in this coping mechanism, it would help me be, you know, slightly more sane, because I could not accept my present. So this would help me be a little more sane and make me feel that I was actually feeling my emotions when I was not. And it was also tempting in the way because people would say, wow, how do you come up with these things? Because my way of thinking is considered highly unique, especially for my age group. Okay. So people, they appreciated me, they applauded me. It also helped me to attract people, because whenever I would talk to people, I would always, and I assure you, I would always have an interesting topic in my head, and I would start the conversation with, I was just thinking about this, and it would go on to become a long conversation. And that would attract a lot of people. But it was really bad for me in the long run. It was really bad for me. I was taking out those emotions, yes, in some way or the other, so it was not completely bad, but it was bad because I was not feeling them. And the reason I would always have these thoughts was simply because I was always having thoughts and I was always trying to, convert them. It was like I could not stop the generation of these thoughts. So when these thoughts generated, I just converted them. I just intellectualized them as a way to make them better. But I recently caught myself doing this and realizing this thanks to a trigger I had. And yeah, so really, when we engage in coping mechanisms, it can make us feel more sane. But the minute I understood myself, you know what? If you're conscious of what you're doing, 50% problem is solved. 50% problem is solved, okay? And the minute I stopped intellectualizing it, I came to a point where I would zone out every single second. I would zone out every single second. And I was really, really struggling to be present. My mind was everywhere. I was constantly having negative thoughts. I felt worthless. Almost, right? So that really told me that intellectualization was keeping me sane. It was making me feel sane in an insane situation. I think overthinking is there to make you feel sane, to make you think you're sane in an insane sort of situation, because you cannot accept it. You know what? I will not go into technical terms into this, because I am realizing that while I'm explaining this, I'm also intellectualizing it. So yeah, I will not go into a huge lecture. I can go on and on and on about this. But guys, end of the day, it's the mindset with which you explain things, okay? So yeah, being balanced is about being at peace with yourself, every single emotion you have. And for that, you need to be present in the moment, present with your thoughts, with yourself and the outside environment as well. Okay? Be present. Just surrender to what you're feeling. For example, I would really start crying at even the smallest things, okay? And then I was again about to cry because my head was literally aching so much. I was struggling with negative thoughts. And then I just said to myself, you know what? I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And yeah, if I want to cry, I will cry. And the minute I said, yeah, go on, cry, and I stopped trying to prevent that crying, I never cried afterwards. I did not even feel like crying, and yet I was at peace. You understand? Life is not to be analyzed, it's to be lived. Emotions are not to be analyzed, they are to be lived. And if you think in terms of like, if I have this, do this, then you really need to, just fool your head into thinking that you're doing something different while doing that same thing. Okay, I'll give my example. So what I did was, I was struggling with negative thoughts, right? And I could not intellectualize them. So I would meditate. But I realized that meditation was also like something I'd made up in my head, that meditation would fix it. Okay. So meditation, like, it did help me, but not quite. So what I did was, I just, like, I did not plan this, I was just normally doing this, okay? I lied down on my bed and I just started seeing things around me. I started being present. That was all. And I did this for like, I think 20 minutes. I really like felt myself in my body. My eyes were not closed. I was not like inhaling, exhaling. I was not doing anything of the sort. But I just looked at things around me. I just described them to myself. I just felt every single part of my body. I felt really myself. And it came to a point where I just almost fell asleep. Like it was a state of sleep, but it wasn't exactly sleep, okay? Which is exactly what meditation does to you, isn't it? I was meditating in a way, but I did not associate the conventional notions of meditating, like just sitting like this, closing your eyes, then inhaling, exhaling. And even at the same spot that I typically do it. There's a spot I have for meditating, right? So yeah, I just change things up like that. So it's just the intention with which you do things. Fool your head into, take it out of that stimulus response association. Don't try to get rid of your emotions. Do these things to really feel your emotions. There's nothing, and I promise you, nothing that can help you if you don't really try to feel your emotions. I also want to say, I really engaged in, I gave myself small goals all the time, every day, like look into people's eyes while talking, go out, talk to someone, or, start speaking this way. I did these things. I gave myself very small goals time to time. But then it came to a point where I became so addicted to this level of growth that I just started doing it because I did not like myself somewhere deep inside me. So don't be a constant self-improvement project. Life will bring things to you to learn anyways. You don't need to be doing it, okay? I would give myself these goals continuously, okay? And I realized one day, why do I keep giving myself these goals? Like how frequently do I change them? Like there was this one goal, I was not able to achieve it, and I started crying. And then I just realized, wait a minute, it's only been 4 days since I set this goal. And it was literally a change in my entire personality sort of goal. It was not easy. It was not easy. And does your personality change in 4 days? No, it simply doesn't. That's simply not how growth works. So what I did was, I made a document and I literally like wrote down March 25th, I set this goal for myself. This day, I set this goal for myself. And then I started seeing how quickly I changed my goals. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. I realized I had to stop myself. And instead, now, you don't need to take extreme measures all the time. Life will bring things to you when you need to improve, okay? Just live, just be. Think in terms of, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm living exactly what I'm supposed to be living. Which also brings me to the next point. The mindset for watching self-development videos or self-improvement or self-love or self-acceptance videos, whatever sort of videos, it should not be to just, for the sake of watching them or watching them to feel inferior. No, like personally, like one of my friends, he told me, why do you need to watch these videos? It's a mindset end of the day. And I said, I watch it with the right mindset. So do all these things, do journal, do meditate, do watch self-help videos, do go to therapy, etc. But do it with the right mindset. Do not do it to run from your emotions, okay? Do it to accept your emotions. The best way of just accepting your emotions is to, I think, just be present. Reflecting back on last year, I remember now that there were 4 months where I was so at peace with myself as I've never been before. It was like a feeling of gratitude has just washed away all my problems. You know what? I was actually trying to get over a lot of friends that I lost. So I should have been sad, but I really was not. I was really at peace with the feelings. So I really realized now it was not happiness. It was peace. I was sad, but I was still at peace. I was more at peace then than I am now. Don't be happy, be at peace. When that peace it went away, that state of mind was gone, I subconsciously looked for it everywhere, in every way possible. I tried to develop myself more. I thought it was because I was holding back, but really, it was just the opposite. I had to accept myself as I was. And the thing was, I was looking for it. You don't have to look for it. Be it. Like, feel it. Just be present. That's it. That's it. Like, really become delusional sometimes, okay? Become delusional. Like, some people may say that delusional does not help and all. But listen, a person who has always kept low standards for herself or himself, even getting to that normal level of confidence is a delusion for that person, okay? So become delusional. Think in terms of, I have always had nice people around me. I have always had nice friends. I have always had the best opportunities. It's like, imagine the highest version of yourself. Would she be settling for this? No, she would not. So do just that. Become that version. Be that version. And when you really decide to do this, I don't know, it's like certain things just do not align with you any longer. Certain things just go away from you. Just become delusional in that way. I started listening to affirmations for this, and like every day I would repeat that I'm deserving of love, etc. And all these affirmations, they really changed my mindset. I suddenly became very delusional. You would almost say that it's kind of like, isn't that like shocking your body into it? And yes, I will say that was true. In some ways, it was kind of wrong, but it really helped me. It really, really helped me. I started thinking in terms of, you know what? My past doesn't exist. It's literally just a thought in my head. Like, I have just fallen on this earth today and I have a situation. That's it. That really helped me. You have to start. Sometimes if you don't know what to do, you have no idea, you are completely lost, you have not done any planning, just start thinking of, my past doesn't exist, this is my situation. That's it. Some people might tell me that, you know, accessing the past is important to know where your triggers are coming from. Yes, it's true, but being more present only enhances your ability to actually access the past. Because right now you're just spiraling in your thoughts. You think you are your past version. You think you are your traumas. That is not true. Start being present and the rest will automatically work out. I promise. I'm not saying don't do any planning in advance, whatever. But it's not more important than being present in the moment. That is just my message. Don't be happy, be at peace. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope I motivated you. And yeah, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Follow my Instagram. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.